Okay, now that we have congratulated Donald Trump and gone through all the pleasantries, let us begin the job of governing. If Donald Trump withdraws from NATO and negates on US responsibilities on Ukraine, he will essentially be giving Putin and North Korea victory in Ukraine. Once Putin gets Ukraine and Trump pulls the United States out of NATO at a critical time like this, Europe, who is not experienced or has not invested much in its defenses, will find itself at the mercy of a Russia, North Korea, China, Iran alliance, left all alone without a US help. Could start as a trade war, currency war, economic war, and if push comes to shove and Moscow becomes greedy and takes Finland and pushes through Europe, who knows? By that time, it will be too late for the United States to want to get back and join NATO. Somebody in Washington needs to thoroughly advise Donald Trump that rather it would be a wise idea for the United States to stay and invest in NATO and carry on supporting Ukraine until Putin and North Korea surrenders. For if Europe goes, so does North America. That will be the end of the empire. And it doesn't even have to be a hot war. The decisive mechanism could be played in the theater of ideas and ideologies, in the theater of trade and economics, in the theater of uh, BRICS versus the Bretton Woods institutions. BRIC currency could replace the US dollar. Europe being forced to trade only with China or to relying on China and Russian gas could be forced to use the BRICS currency as well. Could be forced to fall under a BRICS hegemony led by China and Russia. And Africa will go the way of China and Russia, so will South America. America's only allies is the European Union, Australia, New Zealand. If Donald moves away from those countries, they will be exposed. America will be exposed, isolated, and would lose the trade war, even without a hot war. An eventual hot war will be for the sake of sealing the deal and putting the nail in the coffin. That's a very, very scary path, right? But it is simple. It starts by strong American policy as far as NATO is concerned, a strong American foreign policy working towards re-engaging Africa, that is working together with and aiding mushrooming pro-Western organizations and political affiliations and political movements in Africa to replace the China-centric, Russo-centric dictators. Only that way is a path for American victory and to make America great again. Anything short of that will be America shooting itself on the foot. So we Africans are important, especially we Africans oppressed by our oppressive regimes become very important to Donald Trump's foreign policy. We are an asset that he cannot live without. We are an asset that the US empire cannot survive this century without. Ignore us at your own peril, or Washington. For China is here to stay. China is here to eat your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and including your wife at night. Therefore, enough of the party at Mar-a-Lago. Let's get to the issues of governing. Let's get the White House in order. The priorities must be gotten right. As far as the global south is concerned, we shall be, I and other like-minded Africans, be front runners in the preservation of the free world. Without us, the free world has got a bleak future. Look, the free world is exposed. The free world has been caught sleeping. China is a manufacturing superpower, far surpassing both America and China and Europe combined. Highly industrialized, also highly specialized, highly globalized through the Belt and Road Initiative, highly globally connected, huge military build-up that could surpass the US military if unchecked, strong alliances with strong anti-American regimes, full of cash and access to cash that it would use to run an empire, a yuan or a BRICS currency, which will essentially be an extension of the Chinese yuan or renminbi, which they can quantitatively increase in order to increase dominance in the global south and Asian countries and surround the narrow-minded West. The problem of Washington is being white-centric. The MAGA movement has been accused of being a movement for predominantly white male Americans. That narrow-mindedness could bring down the US empire. US itself, her allies are white in color. It's Britain, it's Western Europe, then they skip Africa, skip Asia, and go all the way down to a white Australia, white New Zealand. Japan was just lucky. There are white people with slanted eyes. But that racial mindset, that profiling of nations according to color, exacerbated by a MAGA movement that got this strong, misogynist, strong white male masculinity, is not safe for the preservation of America's position as a global superpower. Should Donald Trump not understand that all that was good for the election season, but it's not the best way forward for the governing system, for the governing season? Elections are over. The White House is won. The next thing that Donald Trump has to win is the whole world. For the soul of the American empire rests on the decisions that Donald will have to take. We've seen him making inroads into American minorities. It is time now for him to make inroads into global minorities, Africa specifically, shithole countries in particular, like mine, Zimbabwe. This policy of countering China through empowering so-called shithole countries is the right backup that the Donald needs to ensure a further Republican victory in 2028 and keep America strong and still maintain American exceptionalism. Ignoring us, undermining us, pretending we don't hear us is a sure way of giving Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping the glory of the whole world on a silver platter. So what is it gonna be, Donald, the deal maker? Let us make a deal. Sleep on it. Good night.